welcome to Hookah Unlimited. Today we're going to be going over the different bowl types. Now this is an introduction to an overview of general bowl types that I want to show you guys today, and it's kind of an extension or rather an accompanying video to the previous bowl related video I released. You could check that out over there, which seemed to have caused quite a confusion in the hookah enthusiast community, which I was very surprised at. It seemed to me that people mistook the video to being a review video, and I want to take this time to clarify that it was not a review. It was not a rating of anything. I did not review anything. I merely just showed what the bowl type is and showed you guys exactly what defines it and what characteristic or trait it has that gets classified the way it does. So moving on to material bowl types. Now I have a few different kinds. We're gonna go over porcelain, clay, glass, silicone, and aluminum bowls, and we're gonna get started right now with the worst of them all, the porcelain bowl. Now you guys might remember this from the previous video I did. This is the little mod vortex bowl. This type of bowl is a porcelain bowl. It's made of porcelain ceramics. Porcelain bowls are usually made out of a slip cast for cheap manufacturing, and it's shown in the lightweight nature of these types of bowls. They'll be hollowed out on the inside because they're made out of a mold in a very cheap way. They try to save as much material as possible so they could keep the cost as low as possible, and that affects your sessions very negatively, guys. You're gonna see hot spots, you're gonna see heat spikes, you're gonna see that the session, the flavor starts burning prematurely or a lot earlier than you would expect it to otherwise. And all in all, that's what a porcelain bowl is. One way to find out is, I don't know if the mic can pick up, but it sounds almost like glass. Moving forward to my favorite kind of bowl and the objectively best kind, a hand-spun clay bowl. Usually these kind of bowls have a lot nicer glazes because they're doing it by hand anyway, might as well do everything else by hand. And all in all, what these types of clay bowls provide are more stable sessions, very minimal heat spikes. They're more predictable, which is what you want out of your session. You want to expect certain things to happen in the timing that they happen, and you don't want any problems or issues to unfold. Next, we have the glass bowls. Glass bowls are very pretty to look at, but they're also, they get dirty very quickly after a few uses. The molasses will cake on, and it's very difficult to clean up, and it's kind of troublesome and cumbersome to use in that regard, especially because the whole point of a glass bowl is to be clear, and when it's not clear anymore, it kind of just takes a lot out of it takes that pizzazz and spark away from it, doesn't it? But regardless of that, regarding the actual performance factor of glass bowls, just like porcelain bowls, tend to spike in heat. They have hot spots, and it's just the material and the type of material that it uses. It's just the characteristics of glass that people use. Now this one is one of the better ones. It's very popular. It's called the Godfather Bowl by 5-Star Hookah. Silicone bowls are probably the most embarrassing bowls on the market. Not quite as much as maybe porcelain ones, but in the same regard. They're cheap, they're easy to manufacture, they're easy to copy. This one actually uses the original Sarkis shape and design, except the inside is just this weird, wannabe, thing. Now, silicone, the advantage of it is, of course, you could bend it, break it, throw it at people. No problem, nothing's going to happen to it at all. However, they do deteriorate from use over time just because the silicone just can't handle that kind of heat constantly over the course of X amount of months in regular usage. One advantage is that the silicone naturally keeps the heat low, so you can have low heat sessions if that's what you want. However, because it deteriorates over time, you're going to be inhaling some of those silicone fumes, and that is very highly not recommended, and for that reason alone you should stay away from fully silicone bowls. Metal bowls. I have two beautiful examples of metal bowls. One is the Cloud Samsaris Vichia, which was the advanced version of the one that this one is a copy of. And so what the Samsaris did is take the concept of a silicone bowl, except make it not a silicone bowl to avoid the problems that silicone causes, ergo the deterioration and the inhalation of dangerous fumes which don't belong in your body at all. So they created a method where it's a two-piece system. You could take it apart and use it that way. You could clean the inside, you could clean the top separately. It's pretty convenient in that sense, except that you have to deal with the flaws of the actual material that the internal bowl is actually made of. Now, the Vitria offers 3 different bowl types. I think you have aluminum, you have clay, you have glass. So they kind of cover the whole, board regarding this, but the execution of them don't quite add up the way you would like to see in terms of what an optimal session would be when you're actually using a proper, type of bowl made for that purpose alone. I just want you guys to be aware of that. We're going to talk more about it in an official Samsara's Vitria review in the future. Apple on Top has done an amazing job creating a fully aluminum bowl. It is a fully aluminum bowl that goes all the way through and has a silicone casing around it for the sole purpose of you being able to hold it without it getting too hot to touch, because that's what aluminum does. And it's the same fault that this bowl would have, the Vitria. Difference here is that Apple on Top has gone the extra mile of creating these little notches at the edge of the rim of the bowl itself, and these little notches allow fresher and colder air to come into the bowl as you're taking puffs. In doing so, it helps stabilize the session, make sure that the internal bowl temperature is cooled down. Throwback video to a few years ago where I did the Battle of the Metal episodes at Hookah Unbiased TV. I compared and measured the internal heat temperature of each aluminum bowl on the market at the time, and the Apple on Top was averaging consistently about 220 to 240 degrees, which is actually the optimal that you want in your internal bowl temperature. Alright guys, that said, it's about to wrap it up and we're good to go. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please show your support. Subscribe, share the video, like, comment your thoughts. Catch me on Facebook at Hookah Unlimited, the Facebook group, and on my Hookah Unlimited Instagram. Follow me, make comments, join my live AMAs, which I do a few times a week, and ask me anything, guys. As you can tell, I'm big on interaction and I want to hear from you. And with that, I'll catch you later. Deuces. Aluminum. I don't know where I started, Phenom, I forgot, but I think it was where I was taking it apart and I could, show that. So I'm gonna start with, you could take it apart. So that's where we're gonna start right now, okay? 3, 2, 1.